What is good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another YouTube video. We got a bit of news to cover today. We hit a little bit of a drought. You know, all Dragon Ball season we get that drought season where we kind of don't really experience anything new happening in, and yeah, for SparkingZero, they kind of, to me, I feel like they're neglecting the hype that it could be bringing to this game, but it also could be a developer thing. But anyway, this was supposed to be Venix, or this, well, the official credits, I guess, goes to this page, who did the interview, the actual interview. And this kind of was just going to be to talk about the Dragon Ball, like, how Shueisha handled Toriyama's death, you know, the behind the scenes, stuff like that. We're not going to go through everything. But we're going to just read through some of this stuff, because it's kind of cool to know, or it's not only interesting, but it's crucial to know what goes on behind the scenes of these things, because these are the reasons, or these are some of the stuff that happens behind the scenes that are the reasons why we probably don't get half the stuff we be asking for. Like, why we don't get, like, good things. It's like there's stuff going on behind the scenes for games and for anime that is hindering the process, or hindering the success for me, for just, I don't know, Dragon Ball. It's weird. It's successful still. It's still popular. Daima was amazing. But it's like, it's this like weird era where it's like we're still walking on thin ice. It's like at any moment they could drop something trash. It's like, I don't know. We'll see. But Toriyama's what is it? 10? I don't know. 10. Oh, tendinitis. Oh, sorry. I was reading it as something else. Tendinitis. In the double headlines during an especially intense period between the end and start of the year. Let's actually turn this music down a little bit. Start and end of the year, Toriyama found himself having to work simultaneously, gosh, on Dragon Ball and a one-shot episode. To make matters worse, Jump required color chapters to be submitted 2 weeks in advance, forcing authors to work on 2 episodes in parallel. Whoa. At that time, Toriyama was also suffering from tendinitis and claimed he could no longer draw. So, tendinitis, let's just go ahead and make sure we have a good outlook on what it is. Inflammation of the tendon and the thick fibrous tissue that connects muscles and bones, often caused by overuse or injury, leading to pain, swelling, and they were overworking. Oh my god, that just makes it so much more painful, bro. They were working these guys to the point where their muscles and stuff were tearing from writing. Oh, man. Kondo, who was working with him, realized how serious the situation was and decided to speak with Toriyama. The 3 of them met at a cafe to discuss the possibility of adjusting the schedule or canceling one of the 2 projects. During the meeting, Toriyama, fully aware of the difficulty, handed Toriyama a pencil and asked him to write his name. When Toriyama managed to do it, Toriyama replied, "See, you can draw," putting him in a tough spot when I came to continuing to refuse. So it's kind of like he believed anybody can do it, and I like that. Despite his frustration, Toriyama accepted and completed both works on time. Torishima comments that for him, it was mainly a psychological matter. If Toriyama hadn't been able to write his own name, he was ready to give up and tell Kondo to let it go. It was a gamble, but in the end, it worked. A surprising outcome. Okay, so I think I misread that. So it's like he was like making sure that he could still do it. Okay, the Tokyo Threats. What is agreement? Takeda inspiration for Boo. When Torishima, let's see, how Kondo became the editor of first meeting between Kondo's goal to keep Dragon Ball on top. Okay, Kondo's goal to keep Dragon Ball on top. Kondo recalls that when he first joined Jump, he seriously considered quitting. He found the environment too rigid, almost military-like. Shortly after, so it was a very strict staff and a very like strict work environment, it seems like. He was assigned to Dragon Ball with no preparation or clear instructions on what to do. Each week, he simply had to make sure that series continued as scheduled, all while feeling completely out of his depth. Around September, during a meeting, he realized there was at least one thing he could commit to: doing everything he could to keep Dragon Ball at the top of popularity rankings. It was the only goal he truly set for himself, even though he never told anyone, not even Torishima. I don't know. I feel like that was kind of wrong to try to do it like that. because then you just take away from the art, and that's how you get that you overwork. It was the only goal he truly at the time. There were many strong series like Slam Dunk and Yu Yu Hakusho that could have overtaken it, but Dragon Ball remained in first place until the very end. Looking back, they acknowledge the credit doesn't go to the editors, but to the extraordinary strength of Toriyama's work. When Kondo became the lead editor, he didn't even have time to think about how the audience might react. He relied solely on instinct. If he didn't feel anything negative while writing the pages, then it was good to go. That's a little that's how you get, I don't know, because again, art is from, you know, whoever is putting it on the page, but that's how you get like stuff like when we don't like about the game, where it's like, oh, I'm just gonna do this and I think this feels right. The harsh criticism towards Shueisha. Here is the big chunk of the video, the main part, because what really was going on? Toriyama's longtime editors expressed harsh criticism towards Shueisha, believing the communication surrounding his passing was too sparse and impersonal. Additionally, after the author's death, no official memorial event was held. That's crazy. Wait. Turn on music. What? A decision that might align with his reserved nature, but in their view, there was still a lack of proper message from the Jump editorial team, and as well as a public acknowledgement of Toriyama's enormous contribution from Dr. Slump to Dragon Ball. That's heartbreaking. They emphasize that even a symbolic gesture would have been enough. For example, displaying the iconic image of Goku waving goodbye on the facade of the Jump building, or creating a commemorative. They even gave an example. They said, "Bro, you could have did this space where fans could leave messages." In other countries, public tributes such as murals and celebrations have been or are being organized, and they question why a similar homage wasn't made for someone so central to the history of manga. There's concern that this attitude may continue in the future with other creators. If not even Toriyama receives a meaningful tribute, what will happen to the mangaka of the next generation? That's crazy. That's crazy. That again, the treatment with Toriyama is actually crazy, because he seems like a pretty decent guy, and the fact that even like with all things being said, his work pioneered generations, not just his era. He wasn't best of his pioneered generations of art. Let's not get this. Like, manga is art. It's drawings. It's stories. He pioneered art, like in its newest time. Like seriously, like think about that. So for them not to even say anything kind of is crazy. But let me know what you guys think of this video. This is the Dragon Ball Shueisha's treatment towards Toriyama. Let me know what you guys think. They could have done better. They actually gave an example. I will link the article in the description below. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.